Hello everyone and welcome to my Bold and Beautiful Today channel.
Will Remy raise the alarm prior to Hayes being abducted by Luna? Luna Nozawa will keep after her new target, Hayes Finnegan, her younger brother. Hayes is Luna's weak point in her quest for vengeance against Steffy Forrester. Below are spoilers for what will happen next on BNB. There were reports that Remy Price had slept with fellow sociopath Luna Nozawa when he initially moved to Los Angeles. Remy disappeared following his confrontation with Will Spencer Jr. and Electra Forrester, and he wasn't seen again until last week. Will the villains start to get along now that he and Luna have reconnected? Who saves Hayes from Luna? According to BNB spoilers, an unanticipated hero might foil Luna Nozawa's plans for kidnapping and retaliation. We thought the surprise individual would be Sheila Carter or Liam Spencer, but that's a bit too clear. Will Remy Price turn out to be the unexpected hero? When Remy's Electra shrine was made public, he had a somewhat negative first impression on the bold and the beautiful. Could the authors of the CBS soap opera, however, be attempting to save Weissman's life and redeem the character? There might be much more to Remy than his strange fixation with Electra Forrester. Yes, he does stalk naive girls. Perhaps, though, he stops short of abducting defenseless children and using them as pawns. Remy's prospect for salvation. In this case, having Remy play the hero will give the character a whole new chance to stay in town and make some friends. Perhaps Electra Forrester will even consider him. Do you think Remy Price will support Luna Nozawa or halt her in her tracks when he learns what she is up to? Is Remy redeemable? Los Angeles may be known for its glitz and glamour, but in the world of the Forrester family, deception, obsession, and betrayal brew just beneath the surface. As Luna Nozawa's obsession takes a dark turn, her next move may be her most dangerous yet, targeting young Hayes Finnegan, the beloved child of Steffy Forrester, in a twisted plan for revenge that no one saw coming. At the center of the chaos stands Remy Price, a mysterious figure with a sinister past and questionable motives. But as the stakes grow higher, the big question on everyone's minds remains, will Remy sound the alarm before Luna kidnaps Hayes, or will he become her unwitting accomplice? When Remy first arrived in LA, whispers followed him like a shadow. A volatile past, a shrine to Electra Forrester, and rumors of manipulation and emotional abuse swirled through the Forrester and Spencer circles. He was charming, undeniably intelligent, and yet deeply disturbed, walking a razor's edge between obsession and madness. His rumored connection to Luna Nozawa only added fuel to the fire. Luna, who had arrived on the scene seemingly innocent, had since revealed herself as a cunning manipulator, climbing her way into the Forrester empire with a carefully constructed facade. But it wasn't enough. Not for Luna. She had watched from the sidelines as Steffy Forrester stole everything she wanted: power, prestige, family, and now, Luna had set her sights on revenge. And Hayes Finnegan, Steffy's young son, was her target. Luna's descent into villainy wasn't overnight, but rather a slow burn fueled by resentment and pain. She blamed Steffy for the collapse of her family, for being cast aside and underestimated, for always being the golden girl while Luna was left in the shadows. But Luna's plan was more than just retaliation, it was a message. By taking Hayes, she would strike Steffy where it hurt the most, unraveling her perfect life piece by piece. Luna's stalking of Hayes began subtly, showing up unexpectedly at the park where he played, appearing at the preschool under the guise of interest in a community charity, and even planting herself in social scenes where Steffy and Hayes were sure to be spotted. No one noticed at first, brushing off her appearances as coincidence. But for those watching closely, the pattern was clear. Luna was tracking Hayes, learning his schedule, mapping out the perfect time to strike. She had meticulously planned each detail of the kidnapping, from surveillance blind spots near Steffy's estate to the exact moment of distraction during an upcoming gala. She would slip in, take Hayes, and vanish before anyone realized what had happened. And then there was Remy Price. Since his disappearance following his explosive confrontation with Electra Forrester and Will Spencer Jr., many believed Remy had left town for good. But Remy doesn't disappear, he lurks, he waits, and he plots. His recent reappearance at Il Giardino last week was no coincidence. Sources confirmed Luna was seen shortly after, deep in conversation with Remy, sparking renewed rumors of their twisted alliance. Were they rekindling an old flame, or were they partners in crime, planning Hayes' abduction together? Or, could it be, was Remy the key to stopping this disaster from unfolding? Though his past painted him as a villain, there were cracks forming in Remy's cold exterior. He had always teetered on the edge, but something had changed. His brief flirtation with Electra Forrester, though undeniably creepy, exposed a desire for connection. Twisted and misplaced, yes, but human. And now, standing face to face with Luna's madness, Remy is presented with an opportunity: be a hero or sink deeper into darkness. The CBS soap world thrives on redemption arcs, and Remy could be the next candidate. Despite his shrine, his stalking, and his disturbing tendencies, perhaps Remy draws the line at harming children. Hayes is innocent, untouched by the chaos of the adults around him, and in that purity lies the one thing Remy may not be able to stomach exploiting. When he realizes Luna intends to use Hayes as bait in her vendetta against Steffi, it forces Remy to confront his own morality, or what's left of it. Spoilers tease that someone unexpected may intervene before Luna can carry out her plan, and while fans have speculated about familiar names, Liam Spencer, Sheila Carter, or even Thomas Forrester, the real twist may be Remy Price himself. The thought of Remy as a savior seems laughable, and yet that's precisely what makes the scenario so compelling. Soap operas live for unlikely heroes, and if Remy were to flip the script and stop Luna, it would not only redeem his character but open new storylines and entanglements. Imagine the fallout. Remy, once feared, is now embraced. Hayes is safe, and the Forrester family is forced to reckon with the fact that a man they once despised is now a protector. Steffi would be forced to thank him, even as she clings tightly to Hayes, and Electra Forrester might see him in a new light. Redemption in the soap world is never clean, and for Remy, it wouldn't be simple either. He may save Hayes, but questions would remain. Why didn't he speak up sooner? Did he help Luna plan any part of the kidnapping before changing his mind? Can someone who built a shrine to a woman ever truly be trusted? Luna, meanwhile, is unraveling. Her plan depended on secrecy and timing, and if Remy exposes her before she can strike, she'll be cornered. A desperate Luna is a dangerous Luna. Her obsession with hurting Steffi will only deepen, and she may lash out at Remy for betraying her, igniting a new war. Could Luna shift her focus from Hayes to Remy, seeing him now as the one who destroyed her last chance at revenge? And what of the fallout among the rest of the Forrester clan? Will Ridge and Brooke rally behind Remy for protecting Hayes, or will they remain suspicious of his motives? Could Steffi's own trauma from nearly losing her son draw her closer to Remy, if only to understand what drove him to intervene? It's also worth exploring how Remy's redemption might ripple through the other characters. Electra Forrester, long wary of Remy's intensity, might be shaken by his heroic actions. A bond could form, tentative at first, as Electra begins to see Remy as more than a stalker. Could romantic tension emerge? If Remy becomes the man who saved Hayes, suddenly his darkness becomes complexity, and his loneliness becomes relatability. And what of Will Spencer Jr.? His past clashes with Remy were heated, but in the wake of this incident, Will may be forced to reassess his rival. Perhaps there's even an unexpected alliance in the future, as Remy's insider knowledge of Luna could be crucial in dismantling her plans permanently. There's also the possibility that Remy plays both sides. What if he delays sounding the alarm just long enough to learn Luna's full plan, not out of malice, but to ensure her entire operation collapses in one fell swoop? It would be dangerous, a high-stakes gamble, but it could allow Remy to play the hero and manipulate the outcome in his favor, orchestrating a dramatic rescue that paints him in the best light. Ultimately, the heart of the story lies with Hayes. Innocent and unaware of the storm brewing around him, he represents everything Luna wants to destroy and everything Remy may yet save. The tension will mount as Luna's plan moves closer to execution. Will there be a close call? Perhaps Hayes briefly vanishes, only to be found by Remy in the final moments? Or will Remy blow the whistle before Luna can act, preventing the kidnapping altogether and casting himself in a new, if complicated, light? As The Bold and the Beautiful marches forward into its next chapter, fans will be glued to their screens, waiting to see whether darkness wins or if a sliver of light can pierce through. Will Remy Price, the once reviled outsider, step into the role of hero? Or will Luna's madness consume everyone in her path? The clock is ticking, the pieces are moving, and one thing is clear, nothing will ever be the same after this. The drama, the betrayal, the unexpected twists, BNB is delivering it all, and the saga of Hayes, Luna, and Remy may go down as one of the most thrilling arcs in the show's recent history. Luna Carter was always the mysterious one. With storm-gray eyes and a sharp tongue, she'd arrived in Willows Creek only 2 years ago, her past shrouded in vagueness. She moved into a rental on the edge of town, not far from the old Baxter Mill, and never spoke of family or where she came from. Despite her quiet demeanor, she had charisma, a gravity that pulled people in. One of those people was Remy Blake. Remy, the golden boy of the town, with ambition in his voice and charm in his smile. He ran the local art gallery and was known for throwing extravagant, wine-drenched soirees. When he met Luna, he was smitten, but Luna wasn't like the others. She challenged him, saw through his curated perfection. Their connection grew intense, passionate but volatile, like fire in a bottle. No one knew how much darkness they shared behind closed doors. Then came Sheila Dawes, Remy's oldest friend, his former flame, and a constant in his life. She had always felt Luna was dangerous. Something in the way Luna watched people, how she held silence like a weapon. Sheila wasn't just jealous, she was afraid. On the night of June 4th, the three of them met at Remy's house. It was supposed to be a civil dinner, Luna insisted. "Let's clear the air," she said with a cold smile. Sheila arrived reluctantly, unaware that it would be the last time she'd see Remy alive. The dinner began tensely. Luna was dressed in black, her nails painted blood red. Sheila wore a simple blue blouse and clutched her wine like a lifeline. Remy tried to keep things light, but the undercurrents of jealousy and suspicion were too thick. At 8:23 p.m., voices were raised. Luna accused Remy of cheating, not just physically, but emotionally, with Sheila. Remy, caught between two women, tried to defuse it. Sheila stood to leave. That's when the first glass shattered. Luna threw it across the room, screaming, "You think you can lie to me? You think I don't see what's going on?" Sheila tried to calm her, but Luna's rage had cracked something inside her. In a blur, she lunged at Remy. The knife, a serrated carving knife from the kitchen table, was suddenly in her hand. No one saw her pick it up. The air turned metallic, thick with horror. Remy stepped back, hands up, his voice trembling. "Luna, stop." But it was too late. In one swift, horrifying motion, Luna drove the blade into his chest. Once. Twice. A third time. The sound was sickening, a wet, final gasp escaping his lips. Blood soaked his white shirt, blooming like a crimson flower. Sheila screamed, frozen in place. Her mind refused to believe what she saw. Remy crumpled to the floor, eyes wide in shock, fingers twitching before they stilled forever. "Luna," Sheila whispered, stepping back. "What have you done?" Luna stood over the body, chest heaving, eyes wild. "He deserved it," she said, voice eerily calm. "He played us both." Sheila ran, out the door, into the rain, fumbling for her phone. She dialed 911 with trembling fingers. "Yes, this is Sheila Dawes. My friend, he's been stabbed. Remy Blake. 43 Willow Ridge Lane. The killer is Luna Carter. She's still here." But Luna wasn't. When Sheila looked back, Luna had vanished into the night. Police cars screamed through the streets within minutes. Officers stormed the house. They found Remy dead, the knife beside his body. But Luna was gone. The back door stood open, wind and rain howling through it. For hours, police searched. They followed footprints in the mud, questioned neighbors. They found Luna's coat in the woods, torn and blood-stained. But no sign of her. At 3:41 a.m., they arrested the wrong woman. Sheila, still in shock, covered in blood and trembling, was mistaken for Luna at first. A neighbor had given the wrong description. An officer grabbed her, read her rights, but quickly, things unraveled. Sheila screamed her innocence. After verifying her identity, they let her go. It was a cruel mistake. Meanwhile, Luna was already far from Willows Creek. She'd stolen a car, an old blue Corolla, from a gas station outside town. Cameras caught her image, soaked, bareheaded, eyes like thunderclouds. She'd taken money, clothes, even a burner phone. She was planning this. Not the murder, maybe, but the escape. Back in town, chaos bloomed. News of Remy's death spread fast. The gallery was closed, the street filled with reporters. Sheila became the face of tragedy, the witness, the survivor. But she couldn't sleep. Her dreams were filled with red and screams. She kept seeing Luna's face, cold and calculating. Detective Marcus Vell, a seasoned cop with a cynical eye, was assigned the case. He didn't believe in crimes of passion, not really. "There's always a plan," he said. "Always a reason." And he was right. As he dug into Luna's past, he found dead ends. No birth records, no school transcripts. The woman called Luna Carter was a ghost, likely an alias. But fingerprints from the crime scene matched a woman named Eliza Monroe, wanted in connection with a poisoning death in Arizona 5 years ago. Same eyes, same face. Different name. "She's a professional," Vell muttered. "She's done this before." Sheila sat in the station, trying to piece together what she missed. She thought back to their dinners, Luna's cryptic stories, the way she never blinked when talking about death in films. "She talked like someone who'd already crossed the line," Sheila said. Meanwhile, Luna made it to Chicago. She checked into a hostel under a new name, Claire Rowe. Her hair was now short and dyed copper red. She moved like someone used to running. But the police weren't far behind. Surveillance, phone pings, credit card traces, the net was closing. When they finally found her, she was sitting in a diner on the outskirts of the city, calmly reading a newspaper. 2 officers approached. "Luna Carter, or should I say Eliza Monroe, you're under arrest for the murder of Remy Blake." But Luna didn't run this time. She raised her hands slowly, a smirk on her lips. "Took you long enough," she said. At the trial, the courtroom was packed. Sheila testified, her voice steady despite the pain. She recounted every moment, every scream. Luna sat in silence, unbothered. Her defense claimed mental illness, trauma, but the jury saw through it. They saw the calculated steps, the multiple aliases, the calm escape. She was sentenced to life in prison without parole. But the story didn't end there. Sheila wrote a book, Blood and Betrayal, detailing everything, the friendship, the jealousy, the horror. It became a bestseller. She donated part of the proceeds to a local domestic violence shelter. Yet she never stopped looking over her shoulder. Luna had escaped once before. Who's to say she wouldn't again? And in a prison cell in Illinois, Luna stared out the window, rain tracing lines down the glass. Her smirk returned. Nick versus Ridge, Hayes' unexpected gift, and Luna's resentment. Hayes Forrester Finnegan will get an unexpected present from Luna Nozawa. Nick Marone, meantime, irritates Ridge Forrester. Let's discuss the upcoming developments in the CBS soap drama as you continue reading. Luna Nozawa's bitterness. Fans can anticipate that Luna will still be furious at John Finnegan's relationship with Hayes in the upcoming episode. Luna blames Steffi Forrester despite the fact that the doctor rejected her several times. Luna just caught Liam Spencer, Finn, Steffi, and Hayes teaching an art class at the beach home. The gift of Hayes Forrester Finnegan. I wouldn't trust Luna around Hayes because of how insane and irate she is. Although Luna claims that Hayes is her stepbrother, the girl killed both her close friend Paul Hollis Hollister and the man she believed to be her biological father at the time. When Hayes is outside alone for a short while, Luna comes up to him. The girl appears to have a surprise present for the young kid. Shin might know exactly who gave the youngster that gift if they find out, but I can't even begin to think what this could be. Forrester Ridge's finding. According to spoilers for tomorrow's episode of The Bold and the Beautiful, Ridge discovered Nick serenading Brooke when she entered the office. Nick wanted to see Brooke Logan again, so Ridge entered. Nick was shocked to learn that Brooke was still infatuated with her ex-husband and made sure to slap Ridge. Ridge must remain in the past, but Nick refers to Brooke as his destiny. But it appears like Brooke's heart beats exclusively for Ridge. Is Ridge the only man she desires, or will she try her hardest? Nick Marone's confrontation. Brooke will likely engage in a face-off with Ridge while considering Nick's proposal. Ridge vents to Taylor Hayes about Brooke's ex-lover returning in a sneak peek. Ridge dislikes the man and most definitely does not want him to be with Brooke. Taylor would disagree, believing that Brooke might benefit much from Nick's help in moving on from her ex. Taylor can feel a little more at ease about her own romance if Brooke moves on with someone else.